Hey guys, I've just finished filming part 2 of my pregnancy series, and when I was filming I just thought to myself, hey, there's a few apps that I would love for those who are pregnant or plan to get pregnant to actually try out, because they were so useful for me. So some of these apps I'm going to mention were useful while I was pregnant, and some are useful postpartum. So I'll start with the ones that are useful when you're pregnant. So I use an app called Whattoexpect. Now I really use this one really with sort of if it's your first time being pregnant. I'll strongly recommend. This one tells you week by week, size of baby, what baby's doing, the development stages, which is all very exciting if you've never been through it before. So I'd strongly recommend it. It's a free app, and yeah, it's very informative and tells you a lot of information. They also have corresponding YouTube videos as well, which I really liked about that. So app number 2 that I felt is very, very, very important when you're pregnant, especially when you go into labor, is an app called Contractions. I will leave all the links to these things, and I will try and include some pictures either at the end of the video or during the video, so you can actually see, because there's a lot of apps called Contractions. Now this particular app allows you to time your contractions. It also gives you some warnings when it sort of calculates that your contractions are getting closer, it's time for you to call the hospital or go to the hospital, or it tells you that they're a bit sort of too far space. So if you really when you're in pain and you can't, you don't want to be thinking or having your partner trying to time them on their phone, this app just does it for you. You just tap to say start, tap to say stop, tap to say start. It's very simple, and I use it both my labors, but when I went into labor, very, very good. And then I would say the next apps are apps that are used for postpartum. So the first app I'm going to recommend is called My Medela, I think it's called. And My Medela is a tracking app, really. So it allows you to track when you're feeding your baby, how often you're feeding your baby's sleeping, their nappy changes. So if you are just concerned or you're trying to get an understanding of your baby's patterns, it's a great app because it allows you to track, and then you can look at look at the stats and say, okay, right, baby tends to nap at this time, and that time tends to sleep at this time, tends to feed for this amount of time. It gives you a general idea of what's going on with your baby. So I would strongly recommend the app. I've absolutely loved it. And yeah, I didn't use it in my first pregnancy, but I discovered it in my second one, and I wish I had done in my first pregnancy. App number 4 that I'm going to recommend is called Wonder Weeks. I have been an advocate for this app. I've told everybody who I've known to be pregnant or has had a baby. Wonder Weeks gives you weekly or leaps, basically, of the different development stages that your baby goes through once they're born. So from when they're born right until they're 1. So it tells you when they're going through leaps, it tells you the symptoms. So if your baby's crying a lot, or if your baby, the things that your baby could be doing, so rolling over, things like this. Because really, when you've had a baby, you don't know when they're meant to do those things. And every baby is different, so not every baby will do these things at the exact same time. But this app gives you some guidance of what to expect, and I found it the most useful app that I've had to date. So yes, I'll strongly recommend that. And then the 5th app I'm going to mention is, I think it's called Sound Sleeper, and this is just a white noise app. So I didn't want to be going on YouTube and trying to find white noise playlists, and then halfway through they've got an ad. So I found a free app, and this app has it's got like a vacuum cleaner, it's got the sound as a white noise, it's got heartbeat. So if your baby, the heartbeat sound is a womb sound, they call it. It is great when your baby's still really, really days old, because it's really the sound that they know. It's a sound like as if they were in the womb when you have them nice and cuddled up, and you play that sound. It's really, really effective. I strongly recommend that. So I think those are sort of the key apps that I would 100% recommend. We have used every single one. We use the postpartum one still, and I would 100% strongly recommend them. I think they're the best, and if I think of any others, I will listen below, but those ones are the ones that I really wanted to jump on here and share with you. I'll put links, so please make life easier for yourself and download some of these apps. They really will help. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions of any of the apps that you've tried that have worked for you, please leave them in the comment section so we can all sort of help each other and learn from each other. But thank you so much for watching. Very short and sweet. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification button so you know when I post new content. Thank you so much. Bye.